Alright, welcome to another video here. I just wanted to follow up on probably the longest running printers I've had with my business so far. So I have had both of these Prusa MK3S for many years now, and this one here was probably my longest running one. So I have here the statistics for how long. So this one has a total print time of 460 days, 8 hours and 59 minutes, and has run through almost 21,000 meters of filament. This one, by comparison, has only been running for 183 days and has run through half as much filament at just about 11,500 meters of filament. My perspective on the Prusa printers is, especially for the price, they are very reliable and repeatable printers with great accuracy and not too much fuss. So I haven't had too many issues with these. Granted, like as an open air printer, they aren't always the greatest at printing ABS as far as my experience is concerned. Everyone has, different experiences with the printers. Everyone's experiences and trials and issues are always different, but I can only speak to mine. And in this case, these have been good printers. Aside from the general use of the printers, I would say the only thing I think that I would call absolutely terrible is their multi-material upgrade. I have never been able to get this working consistently in an efficient manner. The system just always seems to be very buggy, and I can never rely on it for a long print. For a short print with only a few material changes, it seems fine. And as soon as you try to run actual multi-material and not just multicolor, it really starts to have a hard time switching between different materials. But aside from that, the general printer itself has been good. Something I think that the Prusas excel at especially is printing PETG. A lot of people sometimes have issues printing PETG. They have issues with warping or just bad quality. But these print it beautifully. They print PLA beautifully, just about like any other printer does. But overall, not too many complaints. The landscape has changed now. I even have myself an X1 Carbon here that I've been using now for my business for a while. I'll do another video on that. I've had my own issues with that printer as well. But today I just wanted to do kind of a quick recap on the long-term usage of these printers. Obviously you can see I've put them through their paces. I've been using them for years, and they have not let me down yet. They've had minor things go bad, like temperature sensors on the bed. On this one have gone out just once in the time I've had it. This one has not. I've had the filament sensor go out on this one once as well. The only upgrades I've made to this one, I did finally change it out with a Revo nozzle, the new system, and it's been running well since then. It does give me a few issues here and there with the newer firmwares that are looking for specific temperature preheat times, as the Revo nozzle tends to heat up quite a bit faster than the stock nozzle does, or the stock hot end, excuse me. But aside from that, it has run beautifully and still pumps out beautiful parts that have no issues. But I think that's basically it. So if you want a workhorse that mostly just works most of the time, it'll get the job done. It has a high enough temperature hot end to do some high-end materials if you want to. The lack of enclosure makes it a little bit difficult for some of those higher end materials, but that's something that can be troubleshooted. I've spent my fair share of days with a box over my printer just to keep the area around it a little bit warmer, or even throwing a space heater in the room just to heat up the room enough to prevent warping on ABS prints or polycarbonate, stuff like that. But hopefully this video is at least informative if you're looking at some of these, or I'm sure lots of people have these. These have been out for so long, and I am not an early adopter of these printers of any sort. There are many people out there that have a lot more experience with these than I do myself. But my overall experience with these has been good, and especially for the price, as compared to my previous video about the Rays, I do have it back up and running again. But you could buy 5 of these about for the cost of what I spent on that Rays printer, the Rays Pro 3. And these have had less issues, less crashes, less faults overall in a longer time period than that printer. So it's a totally different kind of printer. That one's dual extrusion. These are single extrusion, but even still, at this price point, I would say they are good printers. But love to hear feedback from anyone. I think the next thing I'll probably take a look at are my recent investment in the Formlabs printers. I have their 3BL resin printer and their 3 Plus resin printer as well. Both of these have I've had a good experience with them, I would say, but I'll get into that another time and talk about my experiences I've had, because I did have kind of a wild ride initially with my very first one. So thanks for watching today.